Welcome back to Daily DeFi. Today's July 17th of 2021, Saturday. Hope everyone's doing well. Today we'll be talking about three tokens that are doing quite well in the daily time frame. Basic attention token, Sushi Swap and Trust Swap. Then Thorchain, this hack that happened recently. Yesterday I talked about this whole thing going on with Pulse Chain, really the largest airdrop in history, as Richard Hart says. Now, I'll probably make a video on that. I'm kind of addressing it today, my thoughts on it, as well as this countdown to Grayscale's big Bitcoin unlock, which is very, very important to understand. You know, Grayscale has a massive amount of Bitcoin, basically allowing people that don't understand how to hold their own or custody their own Bitcoin to essentially hold it in the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Okay, so you can essentially buy it just like you would buy a stock, and then you have exposure to Bitcoin. Then also 5 things to watch this week with BTC. I'm considering making a little technical analysis, like price chart outlook for today, but it all depends on how it rolls out. Okay, so total value locked in is $54.56 billion. Aave dominance, this is the highest I think I've ever seen it. It's close to 17%. DeFi Pulse Index, the coffee was a little too hot. DeFi Pulse Index, 261.32. Aave, Incidap, Compound, Curve, Maker. Yep, typical subjects. Now this is what's crazy. Daily NFT volume. By the way, the Loom software that I usually used to record my videos on, there's the whole software is having an update as far as the Chrome extension, so I have to use the desktop version. A little bit of a background technical speak, but yeah, so that's why the recording thing is a bit different, and I have to. May look a bit different if you've been watching this series. We're almost at episode 200, so. Anyways, $14 million transacted daily, crazy. I think that's probably the highest I've ever seen this. 3,458% on the daily, insane. CryptoPunks took up 2 million of that. Then Sandbox Lands was next. Thorchain tapping Treasury to repay them $5 million after Ethereum attack. Very, very important to understand this. So Thorchain did get hacked. This is something that pretty much always happens when a project has open source code. You constantly have people looking to exploit this this code, and it's one of the most important things to understand in this space. Is personally, I always price this in. I always go, okay, these things can get hacked. All the projects potentially could go to zero. Now, will they go to zero? Most likely, probably not. Because what projects can do is they go, hey, this happened. Just like in life, you face a problem, something bad happens, you iterate and improve, you work forward, and that's the most important thing. I personally think is how a project deals with the hack, right? I did a video when I was back in Istanbul, Turkey, on how Paid Network was dealing with their hack, and they bounced right back. I actually picked up a little bit of Paid Network when they got hacked. I didn't have any before then, but when they got hacked, the price dumped, and then obviously it just recovered. So not necessarily saying this is going to happen with Thorchain. I don't think this affected the price too much, if I remember correctly. But yeah, basically you do have to keep this in mind that hacks are kind of, I wouldn't say inevitable in this space, but something you should at least price in and be aware of. And then account down, we talked about this. So stocks boom as USD hits classic resistance. So you have to look at so let's see, this does mean that the complacency, that the Goldilocks is not only alive and well, but that it is getting stronger by the day. So if you don't understand the Goldilocks method, that's something that you are using in investing. So Goldilocks, maybe I can do a video on this, but trying to keep these daily DeFis right around 5 minutes, so I won't bore you too much with that. But so Bitcoin price is doing all the right things. Fundamentals sustain their comeback. These are just those top 5 things. So Grayscale unlocks 40,000 Bitcoin. That is massive. Bullish price metrics nears the launch zone. So we see this right here, the launch zone. I'm not so sure about that personally. I'm a bit cautious on anyone that's saying, hey, this is going to explode. I'm just watching the charts and looking at other investment sectors. Like I just toured some real estate here in Warsaw, Poland. And the main thing is, be very pragmatic about your investing with crypto, even though this is a very, very new industry. Got to be very, very careful, guys. So you can see here pretty much everything is correlated. Basic attention token, the token that powers this browser that I use pretty much every day on any screen record video I do. Man, this whole Loom thing with the screen, I usually just have it in this corner, but it won't let me pull it down here. See the little block there? Anyways, but yeah, basic attention token, you essentially get paid in when you use the Brave browser. Obviously, it's not a lot. You don't get paid a lot of basic attention token, but it's around 57 cents, up about 12% on the daily. This is a token that I personally don't buy. I do accumulate it by using Brave browser. You can see up here the basic attention token. Moving on here to Sushi Swap, ticker symbol SUSHI, right around $7 on the daily, up about 8%. Market cap is $900 million. Volume is around $300 million. just kind of sideways. But yeah, the percentage up on the daily is interesting, 8%, while everything else is just kind of down. Trust Swap right around 75 cents, up about 7% on the daily, market cap of $67 million. We kind of hit those historical resistance levels there. I personally am interested in picking up a little bit more Trust Swap if we fall a little bit closer to these levels. So I would say right around like 20 cents is where I would be interested. Right now we're at 75, but who knows if we'll actually return to those levels. That's all for today's Daily DeFi. If you have any questions, any comments, let me know down below. Join the Telegram group. Follow us on Twitter at investglobal_IO. That's all for this one. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, stay up to date, hit the notification bell, and click all. That's all for this one, and until next time. There's the end button.